no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no 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 way, boy.
And welcome to Marvel Future Fight version 730 update. So what you just saw me doing just now was taking my chances at rolling for a brilliant CTP of Authority. Something that was not mentioned in the live stream with CM Cage and Kim was this little gem-ative event that was dropped on us. Basically what you have is the chance to roll for a few items. So if you're playing dispatch missions and farming the dispatch missions, you basically have the opportunity to get these ice cream popsicles in three different variants: a red, a blue, and a purple. Utilizing the red ones, you can basically use them for the material chest here, which has the ability to drop some I guess these are just normal mats, you know, some Norn stones, you basically have some things. I'm gonna say this is probably not going to be the place that most people want to drop any of their rolls on, but if you go over here to the advanced material chest, you have the ability to actually try to roll for some T2 materials, some T2 T3 materials, Titan component packs, Essence of Dimensions, even some awakening materials as well, along with some CCF. If you feeling so brave and so bold, on a daily basis, you can craft up to 8 of these frosty ice creams. Yes, you can craft 8 of these frosty ice creams for 50 CCF a piece. This is probably not going to appeal to some of the people who are still grinding and don't have CCF readily available to them, but for others it probably will. If you are capable of doing, any of the world boss legends, Null or Mephisto, then this is probably going to be a place easy for you to have. You'll probably have a good store amount of CCF. As you can see, I've got about 9,000 now, and this is after rolling for about this was 16 rolls that I've done now to try to get a brilliant CTP of Authority. Right now, that's probably going to be the only one that really intrigues me to try to roll, is that or the mighty CTP of Authority. The reason why is because there's been some major improvements and some changes inside the CTP of Authority. Let's take a look at those real quick. All right, so if we go inside my inventory here, where are we at? Inventory. This new layout is a little bit weird to me, so forgive me for moving around here. But basically, down here on the bottom, you see that we have, there we go, some CTP of Authorities. And right now, you can see that they have a guard break immunity that's available to you. You can also get, Jesus Christ, something stuck in my throat. You have critical damage that can increase, then you have activation rate, increasing the attacks, and some accumulation of true damage that's down here. So you can see those. Well, if you reforge the CTPs now, you basically have a different ability that you can get inside here. I think a lot of people are questioning whether or not that this is going to be true or not, but basically, any of the CTPs that can activate once you have them is they're going to add on a new, I guess is a new stat called Steel, which decreases all damage received by 30% and has an additional decrease of 20% for every bit of concentration. So if you're rolling any of your cards and you've got any of the red stars instead of the blue stars, those are going to add to your concentration value, and this is going to give you a 30% additional increase of concentration. Or you can get the applies to self, all attack, all defense increase buff. Most people are going to try to roll for that brilliant CTP though, because they're going to want to see that guard break immunity and that steel damage, where it can go all the way up to decreases all damage received by 60% and an additional decrease by 40% of concentration, which is going to be absolutely amazing. The other stat that you could get as well is applies to self, all attack, and all defenses. I happen to have a CTP of Authority sitting here, and I'll reforge this because I have a lot of reforge items inside here. I haven't particularly been using CTPs for anything, so let's see what happens when we roll that. Hopefully I can get me at least a mighty CTP. I doubt it, but we'll see. And there you go. So my reforging has failed. But I got a mighty CTP of authority, and you can see right here, it decreases all damage received by 20% and another 20% of concentration. I had the guard break immunity and then critical damage. Now, something that people are wondering about is with this stat inside here, basically inside the patch notes, we basically were told that it was going to be it's a critical rate increase. So I'm interested to see on any of the brilliant CTPs if that's the case, or if it's not, we can easily check that and see whether it was a patch note change or not, and look at somebody in the tops, you know, who has a CTP of authority equipped. But there you go. So I've got a CTP of authority, mighty CTP, that I'll probably end up equipping to Dr. Doom. I do see that getting equipped to Dr. Doom. I'm going to probably keep rolling inside this crap shop, however. It's a little nuts because be aware it does cost quite a bit of gold. Yeah, costs quite a bit of gold. If you look at the event over here, for every 2 that you craft over here for the frosty ice creams, they basically start, I believe, at 100,000, then it increases to 150,000, 50,000 to up to, like, I think it's like, so you're basically double those values in 175. So you're basically working from about 300 all the way up to 350,000, I think it is, or something like that. So it's one of those things that you want to be aware of. But if you have those, then you can, then the CCF available, then that's probably a good way to try to keep rolling for that brilliant CTP of authority. I'm going to keep going. You can only get one. If you're not so inclined, you can roll for dimension chests using those purple frosty ice creams in order to roll for a dimension chest, which will grant you a random dimension CTP. Not bad. I didn't really want to take that chance in case I got something that I just really didn't want. And you can use your regular common ones, you know, here to roll for these chests. What you're gonna get in them, you know, it's completely, yeah, up to you. But basically at this point for me, where I'm at in the game, rolling for CTP, the mighty CTP of authority or the brilliant CTP is probably more in my wheelhouse for what I need, especially that brilliant CTP of authority. I really want one of those because I would love to equip that to Dr. Doom, or even I'm gonna try it out on Black Panther as well. So let's take a look basically at the dispatch missions. Inside dispatch missions is where you're going to be able to farm these. Pretty straightforward in how you get them. So let's take a look at dispatch missions. If you connect to any of the dispatch missions, I believe it's a level above level 4, sector 4, you can click on any of these and you're going to notice that there you go, your common ice cream, frosty ice creams. Or if you go higher in level, like so for instance, if I go all the way up here to sector 9 and I was to choose 9-1, now I'm getting blue and red frosty ice creams that I can farm. Probably one of the better missions to farm in the game is going to be sector 7 and then 7-1. I think it has the quickest rate in terms of like completion. This is my team that I currently use. Thank you to Cynic Alex. I think he was the one that shouted it out and he got it from somebody else. So this team has basically effectively got me all the way to sector 9-3. Yeah, I've completed sector 9-3 and I just really haven't been playing dispatch mission that much. So you want to basically jump inside here and complete about 7-1 if you can do those to collect these pretty decent rewards inside there. It's a really interesting event that they didn't tell us about, and it was a pleasure to see that. Aside from that, we did get some new uniforms and I am loving some of the uniforms, I'll say that much. So for instance, let's start out with the one that's going to be the most obvious to everybody, new waifu Silk. I'm particularly not a fan of the model. It just looks off to me, looks a little bit weird. But I do know that typically these uniforms, especially the Summer Days uniforms, always comes with some serious buffs. And Silk could have used a major buff anyways, because when she was at the bottom, she was at the bottom. So now she's here and we can look at all her different skills that she has. She's basically going to increase to chain hit damage by 18% when attacking and ignores the target's dodge rate by 40%. Her passives increase as well. And then you can see she's got blinding speed. So she's increasing quite a bit, and increases the guaranteed critical rate by 40% is really nice on her, as well as the 45% increase attack. I do love her skills. I think they're pretty amazing looking. I won't go over those in this video. I think out of all of the new uniforms, she probably has the best looking skills. I really like them a lot. So especially her little ice cream truck. I will do individual videos for these characters to review the character and its place. Don't ask me to review characters to tell you where they stand in terms of power levels and stuff like that, metas, and that's probably not going to happen here. But next up we had Quicksilver, who I'm a huge fan of, and I like him with his Jesus pieces on, and I think he looks pretty cool. I don't think that he's going to necessarily get as much of a buff, but he didn't really need that much of a buff, so we'll see where he stands at and things. His skills, even though it says that he's got a bunch of new skills inside there, most of them are about flat reworks of old skills, which I'm not mad about at all. I think they do look good, especially his 5th skill and his 6th skill animation with the water effects inside of him. They look pretty intriguing to me. Outside of Quicksilver and Silk, we also had Hulkbuster, which I think is probably the best looking uniform in the update. Hulkbuster 3099. This uniform looks pretty dope to me. I love the detail in it. It looks like they took a lot of time in the shading to get that, you know, actual pop off the page kind of look. He is going to probably be a must-buy uniform if you are, especially if you are a fan of Iron Man, and I'm going to show you why. So, his skill changes that he has inside of here, he's giving a passive buff across the board to himself. Super armor, all defenses, increased skill damage, and a decrease all damage received. But his secondary passive, heavy duty exo frame, is giving all technokinetic allies a 35% increase of max HP. That is a significant boom for this character in terms of having him utilized in order to say, hey, you know what, I'm going to put him on a team and support. But wait, there's more. Basically, Hulkbuster is going to serve the same role as, I guess, Miles Morales does for Carnage, if you've played them. So if I go to combat, let's take a look for my man. Where is he at? There he goes, Hulkbuster. So in here, I can take a look at his skills and I can see what his leadership is. And wow, is that a impressive leadership. He is giving a 35% increase of all attacks to all allies, and he's giving Iron Man an additional 70% increase of all attacks. That's basically netting Iron Man a whopping 105% increase. That's really, really nice. To be honest with you, I think, in my opinion, that Hulkbuster and Rescue have some of the best looking potential awakening skills in the game. I really do. Let's see if I can just show you this real quick. I think that they legitimately, of all the awakenings that have happened so far in the game, I find theirs to look the most. I love the detail on the Hulkbuster armor. It really just pops off the screen, and I love it. So if we use that, you see Hulkbuster and Rescue form up, and then we get a nice old Thor and Iron Man kind of team up where they just rifle off, and I really, really do love that effect. To me, it's definitely one of the thematically, it's really, really cool. So I've already picked up this uniform. I plan on leveling up. I think it's pretty cool looking, and I definitely think if you're a fan of Iron Man, it's going to be up there. Now, if you're looking at technokinetic allies, basically you look at the machine type underneath the detail screens, kind of gives you an idea of who's technokinetic and who's not. So he's probably definitely going to come in handy. I don't, you know, I'm not a huge fan of Iron Man, never really particularly been an Iron Man fan, but if you've got Iron Man at T3 or haven't T3'd him yet, and you're looking down the road at what you got coming up, you know, he's going to be pretty good. I want to make this point too. When Danny Koo and Jim, I think was his name, for Marvel Games, for Netmarble, I can't remember what the director was, they were doing Marvel Future Fight anyways, right? Or they were doing Marvel Future Revolution. And inside Marvel Future Revolution, when they did the live stream, Danny Koo had this big moment in there where he was basically like, you know, they've been looking around to try to bring Fear itself to the game. Now, I'm not exactly sure what that's going to entail, but they brought it, and they were pretty happy about bringing it over into Marvel Future Revolution because the Fear itself uniforms exist there. Now, good question is, are we going to get Fear itself inside of this game, Marvel Future Fight? If we do, that means that we could have Iron Man back on the radar here pretty soon, and it would be pretty epic to see some of the Fear itself costumes enter Marvel Future Fight. So next up on the list, who did we have? So let's talk about War Machine. And since we just got past Hulkbuster, let's talk about War Machine. I want to jump into War Machine really quickly because War Machine has a uniform coming up, but it looks like he's going to be a mid-month uniform. Now, War Machine is the only character left inside the MCU heroes, the Avengers team, that doesn't have a T3. There's much speculation that he will be receiving his T3 here soon. I'm hoping that's the case. It probably would look really bad if they didn't, because everybody else basically has a T3 except for War Machine. So Marvel Future Fight, Netmarble doesn't have the best of yeah, let's say their POC representation isn't the best. So anyways, but if we look at his uniform that he has available coming up, his 3099 uniform, I don't own it. We can't own it. It's not scheduled for release for another 13 days, but the uniform looks really good. It looks like something out of Mech Warrior or Gundam. But it's the effects on his uniform that looks so good. So basically, underneath his change skills, we got a passive to himself. He's getting a full rework here. Ignores target dodge rate by 30%, skills 35, bonus damage 5, 20, getting the decrease all damage received by 30%. And then notice on his passive, he's getting applies to technokinetic allies, 40% increase of all attacks, 40% increase of all defenses, and a 30% increase of HP. That's amazing. I mean, at this point, literally, you could basically roll with Iron Man, Hulkbuster, and War Machine in a team, and that would look pretty good in terms of stat boosts that you're getting. I mean, he's given a 40% on top of Hulkbuster's 105 to Iron Man, and increasing the HP overall by a 60% between the two of them. That's some pretty good stuff. So his skills also, they look pretty amazing. I'm gonna probably review him, but you notice that we don't see his tier 3 skill here. I am hoping to God that he doesn't get dusted and doesn't get his tier 3. He everybody else, like I said, in the MCU has his tier 3. I'm hoping that he gets it. We'll see in 13 days. I really find it doubtful that he wouldn't get his tier 3. But looking at him, we get to move over to Pepper Potts, aka Rescue, in her 3099 uniform. And Pepper Potts' uniform, to me, still probably pretty decent. I'm not going to complain about it in any form, shape, or way. She's basically, this is the stat that I think a lot of people are confused about, where she's giving a 25% increase of recovery rate. So it's a little weird because it's not a 25 increase in HP, but it's a 25% increase in recovery rate. We'll have to see how that pans out. But she also had 4 skill changes, nothing really whopping at you. She does have, they look kind of good. The main thing that people are looking at is how well is she going to be in a support character role, because she looks like she's going to be in a support character role. I'm definitely getting confused by Netmarble's usage of this 1% skill. We saw it on T'Challa. We see it on some other characters now, and it's really throwing me off where we're getting plus 1%. What is plus 1% supposed to do for a character? I'm so confused on that, and it's something I would like to know, but we'll see. I did purchase this uniform, or did I? Yeah, no, I did purchase this uniform. Okay, so I will be leveling up and trying to see what's going on there. So we've got War Machine, we've got Rescue, we've got Hulkbusters, Summer Days, Quicksilver, and Summer Days Silk are available to you. Also inside the shop, we're gonna have Enchantress Summer Days and Cable Summer Days. And so if you don't have those Summer Days uniforms for those characters, probably gonna be something that you want to consider purchasing. You know, if for Cable, for instance, if you have his X of Swords, you probably really don't necessarily need his Summer Days uniform. But I will say it's probably a little bit of a boost over Cable's X of Swords uniform. Enchantress is also another character available, but you're gonna have to purchase those characters in weird ways. So meaning that they're full cost uniforms for Quicksilver, full cost uniforms for Cable, and then Enchantress and Silk you're gonna have to purchase inside the token shop. So if we go inside the store and then we look all the way down at the bottom for the event shop, we're gonna see that we have these silk tokens here. I already purchased Silk's uniform, so you're gonna have to basically believe me that she's inside here, and she's gonna cost 30 silk tokens. Basically, one token is equal to $1. So you're basically gonna have to spend 30 American dollars in order to get that costume. And there's a number of ways of doing it. Don't be fooled by looking at this and only seeing the mega uniform pack upgrade ticket available, where it shows a bonus 40 of Silk's tokens and then 40 loyalty points. If you click inside some of the store items like the Summer Festival upgrade relay, you notice that there's about 100 tickets for each level of this, and you can see it's $99, and here we've got $100, 100 bonus points available. So whales can whale if they want to. If you want to, though, you can basically come inside here in the store and you can purchase these tokens right, the Silk's ice cream chest, and each of those will grant you 3 of them. So you'd probably end up having to purchase about 5 of these in order to get the bonus, because there is a ongoing event right now. So let's go out of here and let's take a look at the event shop. Oh no, it's not there. Where's her event quest? I'm missing it. Okay, there's an event going on, and basically, oh, it's the check-in event. What am I doing? I'm such an idiot. Such an idiot. But there's a check-in event that's basically going on, and underneath that check-in event, I don't know why it won't let me pull it up, but underneath that check-in event, you, at the end of 7 days, you basically will get 10 silk tokens. So you only need to supplement the 20 tokens. So purchase whatever you need to for those. Trust me, it's in here. I'm not sure why it's not pulling up for me. But anyways, weird ass layout for all of this new stuff. Here we go. There it goes. Check-in rewards. So you can see right here, the 7-day check-in event, 10 silk ice cream tokens at the end of 7 days, along with some silk rewards if you don't have enough silk bios right now. It's a way to level up her costume. So be aware of that. I would say that's the only way you're going to get it, is basically worth $30. I would definitely take a look at it and trying to get those silk tokens and not. Now, keep in mind that Enchantress is also available there. I have her uniform. It's pretty cool. I think she adds a lot to the team with her new uniform. Is it as much of a must-have now as it was then? Probably not, so she gets an Awakened or T3 skill. I doubt she'll ever get a T3 skill. I'd be surprised as hell if she ever got a T3 skill. She definitely probably deserves it from power ratings. But there you go. Lastly, we saved the big poppy for the end. We've got T3 Doom. I think this has been much requested by a lot of people for a long time, and I think that they probably are delivering on a uniform in terms of what the uniform is going to be available to do for you. I don't necessarily feel like I like the uniform all that much. It looks very plain to me and flat, but come say, come sa. Up at the top right here is what I mean. Like, you can look at the top and you see this. It looks like, you know, like his spikes pop off. You know, they're there. You know, his arms and his bezels, they pop. There's shadowing that's done here. But somehow, once you get right below the waist over here, if you can see what I'm saying, right below the waist and inside this area down to his legs, it just looks pretty dang flat. Yeah, I don't know. And I'm playing this at pretty high settings, so yeah, I don't know. It just looks pretty flat to me, but you know, yeah, it's gonna be about what you want. Obviously, I purchased the uniform because having T3 Dr. Doom, to me, he's one of my favorite characters. I will review him independently and go into some depth about the character's history. Oh, I was in last. Let's go Universal. And I'm pretty excited about Doom in terms of him coming to the game. His skills, I think his skills are absolutely amazing in terms of, you know, what he's offering. Doom is definitely appearing as Doom should. Doom only needs Doom and nothing more. Victorious is not needed here. There's no reason to have Victorious as lead because Doom needs only Doom. And what I mean by that is, look at this. At Doom's leadership, you basically have an activation rate when debuff, remove all debuffs. It happens every 12 seconds. excuse me, it happens for 12 seconds on a cooldown of 20 seconds, which means with your cooldown totaled out, you should have it at about 10 seconds. But Doom has some pretty interesting effects on his uniform specifically because of that. So meaning, like, if you look at Doom's enhanced effects, he's basically getting a decreased damage received from reflected effects by 60%. His effect is it reflects all attacks. The activation rate is when using remove all debuffs. Buff applies to self, decreases all damage received by 40%, ignore target's dodge rate by 50%, increases chain hit damage by 15%. That is pretty cool, and it's on, again, a 20-second cooldown time. That's pretty badass. I mean, yeah, you couldn't ask for more in terms of making sure that Doom needs only Doom. I love it. I think they did thematically with this character what they should have done. His passive, still the same, 55% chance to penetrate with super armor, 30%. I think there's some minor boosts inside there, but I'm really liking it so far. I really appreciate the skill, and his tier 3 animation is absolutely bonkers and pretty cool. Something that was pointed out by Cynic Alex, I think it was that we had that 100% increase of charge rate to accumulate true damage effect. That's the same skill that has on Sharon Rogers, which means that we don't have to do anything but activate this skill and get that bonus. Doesn't make a difference whether you're getting damage to or damage from. So that's pretty amazing, pretty cool. Looking forward to seeing how Doom plays out. If you want to, check out Beast Modes, the Undying Beast's channel, where he's already taken Doom through the rigors of some pretty good PvP skilling, and Doom performs. He performs. So this is probably going to be a must buy, especially for any Doom fans. Other than that, did we get anything new inside of the game so far? No, not really. There's not been anything there, but you know, they've been pumping out a lot to us, and I love that this year, we're 9 months in almost, and here we are with so many reworks, so much to have in terms of like characters who were at the bottom now being at the top and having reworks. Could they have done better on some than what they did? Sure, they could have. Do we want more? Yeah, we wanted more, but I think they've been turning out content that people have been asking for a while. One thing I also want to point out to you is that we basically have the final bit of characters that were rolled out to be able to have their potential increase. Adam Warlock, Mantis, Singularity, Ultron, and Yondu can all be leveled up now to level 70. I am dying to get my Adam Warlock leveled all the way to 70. Adam Warlock is one of my favorite characters. I hope thematically they do something similar to what they did with Mephisto for him, where he changes into the Magus or something like that, so that way he's against villains and heroes alike, but we'll see what they do with that. Other than that, make sure that you're logging into the bonus mission. They have changed the bonus mission up a little bit differently this time around. Instead of going all the way to 20,000 and stopping there, you can now go all the way up to 50,000 gold and 30,000 gold to get some good rewards. And I mean, having a 5-star rank up ticket and 300 Norn stones, not too shabby at all. And trust me, if you're going to be inside the craft shop doing this event right here with the frosty icicles, most likely you're going to be using it. So you're going to be getting that gold pretty quickly. We'll see what I get around to. I wonder if I can get it on one attempt. Let's see. We'll finish out the video here. Failed. I will end up going for that CTP of Authority, but my main goal right now is to get this brilliant CTP of Authority. We'll see if I get it there, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and this update, and I hope that you look forward to some more later down the road. Until next time, peace.